Welcome to the #1 spot health and wellness practitioners go to double their current income and turn their 10-hour work day into a 10-hour work week. Join us as we dive into the tips, tools, and tech you need to create a life and practice on your own terms. More freedom, flexibility, fulfillment, and of course, funds. It's time to build your online practice. And I'm your host, Michelle Rogers, also known as the WELLthy Woman. Be sure to subscribe for your weekly dose of education, inspiration, and action. Let's get started. All right, so I think you can see me. I think you can hear me. Standing out in the sea of social media, dial in your identity to become the beacon your client needs. So social media as an online practitioner is absolutely essential. And I know so many practitioners out there are just, it's a source of stress. It's a source of contention. It's a source of like heaviness for so many practitioners because a lot of us, me included, are introverts and we love just like doing our thing and like working with clients and like whatever, studying and like putting together protocols and just kind of being in our own kind of space. You know, we don't tend to be, team players and out there and extroverted. Of course, there are practitioners who are, and if you are, I'm slightly jealous. But yeah, most of us are just kind of like we keep to ourselves. And so social media can be a bit daunting and scary. Just to like show up and to be seen, to be heard, to actually have a voice and an opinion in a place where we can tend to be attacked sometimes, with our philosophies, especially as holistic healthcare practitioners, alternative healthcare practitioners, functional healthcare practitioners, whatever you want to call it, just because, what we do is not the mainstream. And so it does open up this avenue for criticism from colleagues, from potential people, from whatever. I've experienced it myself, but the fact is that social media has been such a gift in my world. Not only have I made some of the best freaking friendships ever through social media, through Instagram specifically, but I've built my business because of social media, right? Like this is why we get to, or how we get to really build the practice and lifestyle that we truly desire. Like literally like having your phone and being able to like interact with potential clients, make sales, like do protocols, like we can do everything on our phone, our tablet, our computer, whatever that is, and be able to be anywhere in the world that has an internet connection. Like it's absolutely mind blowing that we're in this age and this stage. And I go out, I live in Mexico, for those of you who don't know. I walk out 30 seconds to the beach and like at sunrise and sunset, and I'm just like always blown away. I'm just like, I can't believe like this is like a thing. Like I created this life. And I'm just so passionate to share this with so many other practitioners because I know so many of you are feeling stuck and stagnant and just feeling like you don't even know if you should be continuing on with, the practice that you have or with, the systems that you're doing right now. So I just want to say, if that's you, like I see you, I feel you, like I've been there, I've done the primary care provider, I've done the insurance paradigm, I've done all of that kind of stuff. And, I just want to let you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's another way to go. So I'm glad you're here. Basically, all of that being said, that was unexpected, but I felt the need to share that with you. So I want to share with you exactly how I've been able to use social media, specifically Instagram, to build a multi-six-figure online practice. And yeah, as I said, any questions you have along the way, let me know. Definitely stay put. If you stay until the end, if you love this masterclass, I have something to share with you that you won't want to miss. It is time sensitive. I actually have 2 things I want to share with you. So definitely stay tuned. So my philosophy, for those of you who don't know, I know that if we give our body the right information, instructions, environment, it does what it does best, heal, right? And so knowing this and implementing this philosophy into everything that I do, everything that I teach practitioners about, I just have this strong conviction and this knowing that as practitioners who practice this way and who believe this and who like implement this and who, walk the talk, I know that we have the capacity to change the world together. And, they say like a rising tide lifts all ships. And I just want you to know that like I'm here, like I've been there, I've been in the weeds and it gets better. And I want to help you get there. So let's do this. All right, so you are likely here because there's a sense of overwhelm. Let me just move this over. That's good. Okay. Hello, if you're watching. Hi. So you're probably here because of overwhelm. You don't know what to write about or how to create content that resonates with your ideal client. You're noticing crickets. So you might be posting content, but there's no engagement, growth, or conversion happening on a regular basis. Maybe there's some confusion, like you're not sure how to engage with your audience, let alone the people who do show interest in your offer, right? That's the worst. Where you're like, oh my God, someone's interested. Now what do I do? Right? But that'll be in a different training. But if this sounds like you're in the right place, I have got you covered. So my goal is that after this little masterclass here, that you're going to have more certainty, right? You're going to have a clear understanding of what to write about and how to start magnetizing your ideal clients to your audience. You're going to have a more engagement, right? Moving forward. So you'll know how to start getting engagement, grow your audience, and start introducing your offer to the world. Clarity, you're going to know how to engage with your audience and communicate next steps to your ideal clients. All right, you ready to go? So quotes, we always start with quotes. So I'd rather regret the risks that didn't work out than the chances I didn't take at all. Yeah, I think that's true. When it comes to social media, when it comes to being in the online practice space, holy smokes. All right. So let's talk about some basics, because I know that a lot of people, even just like diving into Instagram can be intimidating. Again, like social media doesn't tend to be our forte. Like it's not something that we have, really specialized in or spent much time in, because we've been studying and practicing and we've got our heads down, like doing the thing, right? So let's start with some basics here. So your profile photo, this is the first thing that people see when they come across your Instagram page, right? So it's important to make it count. Use a high quality photo that's both professional and visually appealing. Now, the word professional is something that I take very lightly, right? So professional doesn't mean that you need to be wearing your white coat and your stethoscope and be all like doctory, right? This can just be like, you look like a human being who takes care of themselves, right? And like, looks like a respectable human being who has integrity. Okay. So professional, I use that loosely. Consider using a photo of yourself to help create a personal connection with your audience. So showing your face, smiling, looking like you're an approachable person is a great place to start. It doesn't have to be, a hired professional that took your photo. This profile photo is super small, right? So make sure the photo is consistent with your brand's visual identity and style. And that's a little bit more advanced, but for some of you, we have practitioners in all stages. If you're just getting started, just put a freaking photo up there and smile and have it kind of close to your face so someone can see who you are, okay? If you are more advanced, you have a built brand already, which is actually what we're going to be talking about a lot today, then just make sure there's some consistency there, right? So here's an example. So this is my profile. The photo that we're talking about here is this one. So this is your profile photo. It's the first thing people see. Again, close enough as you can get to your face, smiling, all of that. So just an example there. So the name or the title. So this is one of the most important aspects of your profile, because it tells people who you are and what you do. So the name should be clear, concise, and easy to remember. And also it is SEO searchable, like search engine optimization. So it can actually come up on searches. So I highly recommend that you use this area strategically. So it could have ideally your name, but then also maybe the title of what you do. So are you a functional health coach? Are you a functional health consultant? What might your ideal client be searching for, right? So add a title or descriptor that highlights your unique expertise or niche, right? You might be a totally different health and wellness practitioner. So just whatever is specific to you, right? You could definitely avoid using generic titles like coach or consultant that don't communicate what makes you stand out. So like just putting that, like if I were to put like Michelle Rogers, coach, or even like health coach, like I'm not a health coach, right? I could say health consultant or functional health consultant, functional health advisor, something like that. for me personally, since I mostly work with practitioners, I'm an online practice mentor and biz coach, right? So that's what I've put there. So it's a little bit more specific. I've got my first and last name there as well. And a lot of people just put their first name. You can go either way, whatever your comfortability is what you can do. I find that having the first and last name kind of, I don't know, it feels like more authority. Some practitioners ask about, whether or not they should have their letters, their credentials after their name. You definitely can. Like, that's also an option. Just keep in mind that a lot of people don't know what those letters mean. I've worked with many clients in the online space, and zero have asked for my credentials. So just keeping that in mind, there's a lot of times some ego involved in credentials. Like, believe me, I've been there. I've had a full on ego death when I decided to drop my license. So it's just a suggestion, you do whatever feels good for you. So your bio. So your bio is a chance to introduce yourself to your audience and explain what it is that you offer. So use clear and concise language to communicate your value proposition and unique selling points. We'll get into the value proposition in a bit. Include relevant words that will help your profile show up in search results. Use emojis or don't, whatever you prefer. A lot of people love emojis. I do. But it does help to break things up. You don't want just some solid paragraph, but it makes it more visually appealing. So for example, this is my bio, these lines here. So helping you build your online practice, 6 figures in less than 6 months. That's me. I use a trophy for featured in Microbiome Labs, Rupa Health, Help Living. And then a little chat emoji for DM me, wealth for more info. So you could do something similar to that, but make it your own if you want, or you can get creative, whatever you feel like. So that is what we have there. The highlight section. So the highlight section is a great way to showcase your best content and also provide quick access to important information. So use the highlight covers that I'll show you in just a second, but you can use highlight covers that are consistent with your brand's visual identity and style. Again, if you're more advanced, you already have your brand identity. If not, you can use whatever. I personally visually, I wouldn't just use the cover of whatever post or story that you have, but make it something that looks a little bit more professional, cohesive. It could be just a solid color. That's what I do for simplicity's sake, but you could have a little icon in there or whatever suits you and what you want. So create category highlights that align with your areas of expertise or services. Include your best content in each highlight to provide value and showcase your expertise. So I recommend if you're just getting started, I know highlights, if you're just getting started with Instagram, you're like, oh my God, what are highlights? What in the actual F should I be doing here? So just start with an about and then a program and a results highlight. And so the about, you could actually create a little about me video. It doesn't have to be long. It could be, a minute, 2 minutes long. You could record yourself. It doesn't have to be live. So you could actually pre-record it and then you could post it to your stories, and then you can save that to your highlight section because people really want to know about you, right? So they want to know who this person is. That's part of who you are, your brand identity. So really, really, really important. Your program. So if you have details about your program ready, if you've already created a program or a package or whatever it is that you're offering, you can have those details that maybe you've shared on your IG stories that then you can share or save into a highlight specifically about that. So people come to your page, they're like, who is this person? Oh, this program that they offer, what's this all about? And then they can read about your program, right? It's a natural progression of how people would be curious about you. And then results. I recommend a results highlight. This could be, screenshots or whatever it is that you have to showcase transformations, results, wins, or whatever from your clients or patients. These do vary depending on where in the world you are. I think in Canada, it can be a little bit tricky to share results. So just be aware of what you're sharing. Obviously, you don't want to be sharing any identifying information So having those results can really provide a lot of social proof. So social proof is essential for people to actually build that trust factor that's needed to move into a buying position to where they actually want to invest into your program because they're like, oh, these other people did it and it worked. Amazing, right? And then it's like, that's what social proof is. Okay. So the highlight section, just for you guys who haven't seen it or worked with it at all, this is the little highlight section. So I have a few more things. I've been doing this for a little while now, but just so you know, you can start with just 3. That'll be your challenge. So let's dive into your personal brand. So your purpose, your vibe, your identity, your messaging. So your personal brand. Personal branding refers to the process of establishing and promoting a unique identity that sets you apart from others in your field. So it's really around like who you are and your uniqueness, because that's really what's going to magnetize your perfect fit clients, your ideal clients, is like you, right? So a personal brand can help you communicate your expertise, your values, your personality to potential clients, building trust and rapport with them, right? In a crowded health and wellness space, in a crowded online space, right? Like I'm not one for like competition, but at the same time, there's a lot of unqualified people in the online health and wellness space. So how can you differentiate yourself from those gurus and influencers and all that stuff going on around there? Because when it comes to quality, it's not a crowded market at all. So, okay. So, anywho, in the crowded health and wellness space, there are so many practitioners with similar backgrounds, qualifications. A strong personal brand can help you stand out and attract your ideal clients. Okay. That's why we're talking about this. We want to stand out in the sea of social media, right? So key elements. So key elements of your brand, one would be values. So your values are the guiding principles that shape your decisions and your behaviors. Now, your personal brand should reflect these values and communicate them to your audience. For example, if one of your core values is compassion, your personal brand should communicate that you are a caring and empathetic practitioner. Okay. So I would recommend having, values. I would pick like 3 to 5 values. So exercise 1, define your core values. Make a list of your top 5 core values. Write a sentence or 2 explaining what each value means to you and how it shapes your work as a practitioner. So for example, one of my values is freedom, right? And that means geographic freedom, financial freedom, like time freedom, right? Like being able to do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want, whatever, right? Like freedom is one of my core values. And so that's something that comes across in all of the content that I create, right? And that's something that helps me to inspire other practitioners to be like, oh, wow, like I want to move somewhere, or I want to travel, or I want to like not be stuck in this certain situation that I'm in right now, right? So the freedom to me is just the freedom of choice, like being able to choose. So what are some of your values? So key elements of your brand, passions. So your passions are the things that energize and motivate you. Incorporating your passions into your personal brand can help you stand out and showcase your unique personality. For example, if you're passionate about yoga, you can incorporate yoga related content or imagery into your personal brand, right? So like one of the things that I do sort of incorporate into my personal brand, well, no, I guess I do quite a lot, is like the beach and like Mexico, right? Like I always include that some way into my content, whether it's through photography, whether it's through experiences that I'm having and sharing on Instagram stories or whatever that is. That's just like a part of my life. And so it doesn't have anything to do with how like my practice or even my mentorship for practitioners, but it's a huge part of my life. So it's part of what I share, right? And I get so many people who, say like, hey, I'm coming to Tulum, like, blah, 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 what are you up to? Or what do you recommend? Or da, 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 da. Like I'm known as being in this area now. So that's that. Exercise 2. Identify your passions. So make a list of the things you're most passionate about. You know, it could be a TV show, it could be a certain sports activity, it could be anything, right? It could be cooking, it could be whatever. You know, another thing that I incorporate is like animal-based eating, right? I created a membership around animal-based eating for women at the beginning of the year. Okay. So think about how you can incorporate these passions into your personal brand and through your content, imagery, or messaging, or all of the above, right? Key elements of your brand, unique selling proposition. So I alluded to this a little bit earlier, your USP. So this is what sets you apart from other practitioners in your field. It's the unique combination of skills, experiences, and personality traits that make you the best fit for your ideal clients, right? So your personal brand should communicate your USP clearly and concisely. This is also called like your I help statement. It's your value proposition. So there's a lot of different ways that you can call a unique selling proposition. So exercise 3 is like define what this statement is. So identify the unique combination of skills, experiences, and personality traits that make you the best fit for your ideal client. So write a sentence or two summarizing your USP and how it sets you apart from other practitioners in your field. This could also be what you use in your bio, just so you know. Target audience. So your target audience is the group of people you want to serve and help. Understanding their needs, desires, and pain points can help you craft a personal brand that speaks directly to them and resonates with them, right? This is a big, big piece of creating your personal brand because the better you know who your target audience is, who your perfect fit clients are, your ideal clients, whatever you want to call it, they're all the same. The better you know who that is, the more clearly you're going to be able to communicate how you can help them. You're going to better understand what they need help with, what their interests are, what their goals are, all of that stuff. So that is going to be a whole program in and of itself. Exercise 4, create a brand statement. So use the information you gathered in exercises 1 through 3 to create a brand statement. So your brand statement should be a concise, memorable sentence that communicates your values, passions, USP, and target audience. So for example, I help busy women find balance and ease through holistic nutrition and personalized self-care practices that honor their unique needs and lifestyles, right? So you can get kind of fun and crazy with these, but it's important to have. All right, social media strategy. I'm hoping this is helpful for you all who are watching and who are watching the replay. All right, social media strategy. A social media strategy is an essential part of your online practice strategy, especially for health and wellness practitioners who are looking to grow their online practice and attract new clients, right? Your social media strategy should align with your overall business goals and be tailored to your unique personal brand and target audience. Social media can be a powerful tool for building relationships, showcasing your expertise, and driving traffic to your website if you have one or other online platforms. For those of you who've worked with me, you know that I don't think you need a website, but there are a lot of people who have websites. So a well-crafted social media strategy can help you connect with your ideal clients, increase your brand visibility, and ultimately grow your business. So content plan. To create a content plan that aligns with your personal brand and attracts your ideal clients, you first need to define your personal brand and understand your target audience. So this will help you identify the topics and the themes that will resonate with your audience and align with your brand messaging. So some tips for creating the content plan. Define your content pillars. So identify the key topics or themes that you want to focus on in your content. These should align with your personal brand and target audience, right? So what are the themes that you're going to be talking about? So for example, for me, I talk about like functional labs, entrepreneurship. I talk about like travel. So what are the content themes or pillars that you want to be talking about? Plan out your content calendar. So decide on the frequency and types of content you're going to create and plan out your content in advance. This can be an incredible time saver, especially if you're doing time blocking, which is one of my favorite ways to kind of stay focused and really productive, is like setting aside certain blocks of time throughout the day or throughout the week to focus on this kind of stuff. So when you're doing like content calendar, I think can feel a little bit daunting or a little bit like intimidating. It's not, it doesn't mean you need to plan out like 30 days of content. It could be just for the next week. Like I'm going to post twice in the next week. Great. Like plan that out, you know? So just know that that doesn't mean you need to plan out every single day. And like, what am I doing on IG stories? What am I doing on my wall post? What am I doing on Facebook? Like, da, 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 da. Like that's not what you need to be doing. Okay. So mix up your content formats. Now experiment with different types of content such as video, images, and written posts to keep your content fresh and engaging. This also helps you figure out what your audience responds to, right? Because people are always like, well, Michelle, like what should I post? Like just a photo, a carousel, like a video, a reel, or like da 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 da. It's like, I don't know, because I don't like know who your ideal clients are, right? Like you need to figure out what your audience likes, what do they respond to? So that's why it's actually really important to experiment, right? Especially if you're just getting started, you're still building your audience, like you're not really sure like what people are responding to, what they want, what they're interested in. And so just doing a variety at the beginning can really help you dial into like, oh, they really like it when I blah, blah, blah. Okay. So really important. Be consistent. So consistency is really key when it comes to social media, especially when you're starting out and you're trying to use that as your main platform for gaining clients. Stick to a regular posting schedule and stay true to your brand messaging and voice. Okay. So engagement, how to enhance or improve your engagement. So growing your following and engaging with your audience on social media requires a combination of strategy and authenticity. Some best practices for engagement and growth include hashtags. Yes, I still use hashtags. People still use hashtags. They can increase your visibility and reach on social media when they're used appropriately. So use relevant hashtags that are specific to your industry or niche. This is a little guideline that I found to be really, really helpful is 1 to 3 hashtags around who your content is for, 1 to 3 hashtags around what your content is about, and then 1 to 3 hashtags around the pain point that your content solves. Okay. So engage with your audience, respond to comments and messages in a timely manner, and use social media as an opportunity to build relationships with your audience. I personally love building relationships with new followers and potential clients in the DMs. There are some really easy, non-invasive strategies that you can use, which are things that I cover inside of the mentorship. Collaborate with other brands and influencers. So partnering with other brands or influencers in your industry can help you reach new audiences and grow your following. So you could speak on a podcast, you can do an IG story swap, you can give a shout out without any expectation in return, right? So you can just start making like those collaborations in that way. Post consistently again is huge, right? It's huge. So consistency is key when it comes to social media. Aim to post on a regular schedule and stay active on the platform. If this is once a week, awesome. If it's every single day, awesome. Just pick the flow that works for you. Okay? Just be consistent. Provide value. So your social media content should provide value to your audience, of course. Share tips, insights, and helpful information that aligns with your personal brand and target audience. Value can also include perspective shifts, mindset upgrades, along with those more like actionable tips and insights and things like that. So the 3 posts to pin on your social media. This is a fun one, I think, because it gives you a really awesome head start on where to focus your time and energy. If you're wondering like, oh my gosh, well, I need to like post some things and I don't know what to post. So 1, your brand story. So create a post that tells your audience, which are potentially, perfect fit clients, why you're the one to guide them on their health journey. Share your own story, challenges, and breakthroughs. Allow them to get to know you, the real you. Okay? That's your brand story. Education. Now, specific education post. Create a post that encompasses the one message that your audience needs to know about your niche. This is the message that you wish every single client had prior to working with you. Like they already knew this thing. They already believed this thing. They were already like, they're there. They're on the same page as you. What is that thing? And educate them on that. Okay. And then social proof is the third one. So create a post that showcases what results are possible when working with you. Tell us a story about a client's journey, post screenshots of major wins or transformations. If you don't have them yet, you can use your story as an example, right? Every single person in the health and wellness field that I know has their own healing journey, right? And that is all I have for you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening and the rest of your week. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. All right. Bye. All right, that's a wrap for today. If you want the exact breakdown of how I help practitioners go from their first 5K to consistent 50K months with just 2 offers, 10 hours per week, and an audience of less than 500 people, be sure to click the link in the podcast description or head to wealthywoman.co/breakdown. To make sure you don't miss an episode, be sure to subscribe. And for daily online practice insights, follow me on Instagram at wealthywoman.co. Let's create your life of wealth full of abundance, purpose, health, wealth, and joy.